Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Thanks for tuning in today. We are doing a fluid change on the Murray transaxle. So let's get into it. I'll show you what you need. Alright, so for fluid, I'm going to be using this half full bottle of Valvoline racing oil, for race cars and classic vehicles. This is classic enough. Funnelage, obviously. We need 18 ounces. 16 ounces, sorry. Sorry about the road noise. 16 ounces, and this bottle has 16 ounces. So, let's get into it. So we got 2 bolts here with a nut on the bottom. I took this one off already, wherever it went. There it is. Okay, that's gone forever under the tire. But there's a nut on the bottom here, and it is 1/2 inch. So there's 2 of these that go through the aluminum, and then with a nut on the other side. And I like that they did that rather than threading it into the aluminum, because aluminum is soft and it straps out very easily. And these things are kind of important. They hold the body to the axle. So I took one off to make sure what size it was and see how difficult it was. It was pretty simple. To make it a little easier, I could have done like WD-40 or something like that. There's 2 on this side as well. And then right up in there, there's a bolt right there that goes through the frame. You need to take that off, and then you'll have to take not this spindle right here, but that other rod that goes up and down. That's your shift linkage, and you'll have to undo that. And then this right here is your brake, and you'll have to take this wire out of here. But besides from that, it looks pretty simple. So let me set you guys down and we'll get into it. All right. Cheers, guys. I just got some homemade sweet tea. It's amazing. Okay. So I'm going to show you what we're going to need. 1/2 inch ratchet, click-clacky ratchet, okay? And then I'm going to use this kind of pick your size adventure wrench. I probably could just grab another 1/2 inch one of these, but why not use that, right? And then your 1/2 inch socket on here. So all of the hardware on this is 1/2 inch, so it makes it really easy. You don't have to get your entire toolbox out. But we are going to need some pliers, and I'm going to get some gloves. And then we'll start the disassembly process. Alright, so I'm going to start with this one on this side. Pop up. Already got one out. And I'm not a big fan of watching videos where they pretend like it was super easy to undo a bolt, and then, they took 5 hours to try to get the thing loose. Not a big fan of that, so you're not going to see any of that here. The only reason I took that other one out is because I mostly just wanted to see how long this was going to take. Sorry for my head. But also, just, see what it was going to be like. Of course, this is backwards. That's a tight one. Okay. Let's see if we can do this. This light is not helping. It's making it worse. Okay. Am I even doing this the right way? Hey, look at that. It helps to go the right way, you know. Makes things a little easier. Come on. No, not gonna do that for me. You're gonna fight me? Where's the bowl? There it is. Okay. Hopefully, if you guys are doing this along with me, you're having a little bit more luck than I am. Okay. The second bolt out. Now we're going to see if we can get the nut out of the socket. Okay, that took a lot of anger and violence. So just so you know, these nuts fit very tight in the 1/2 inch. So, you know, just so you know. Okay, so that side's done. Let's move on to this side. Hopefully we have a little bit more luck over here. All right. That light's probably gonna be right in my way. Hurrah! Hoo-yabba! Almost there. Ah, there it is. The snapping means it's working. Okay. Whew. But the reason these are probably so hard to take off is because they've been on here from, you know, the 90s. I think this mower is a 96, so they've been on here a couple days. This one's definitely on the tighter end. Okay. Whew. Hot in this shed. There it goes. Trying something new without the fancy electronic item, just so that I don't get these nuts stuck in there every single time. Alright, that wasn't that bad. Hey, okay, moving on to the back one. So the thing with the back one is you can't, well, maybe you could from the back. You can't from the front, or I guess the back, because there's this heat item right here, and you can't get the socket or the wrench back there. So you kind of have to use a socket. But if I can find it. Okay. Whoa. That was way too easy. was weird. It just came right out of there. All right, so I'm going to leave one bolt in there just so that the axle doesn't do this thing, even though it's not round, you know, just to secure it in there. Then I'm going to reach back in there, and I don't know if you guys are going to be able to see that, but reach back up top, and I showed you what I'm doing, so you can just imagine that you can see it. Helps when you have a ratchety item if you could lock it in place so it's not, you know, moving all over the place. You can use like electrical tape or something like that. We have a couple of these, but the little locky thing broke, so now they're electrical taped, because tape always fixes everything. And of course I can't get my hand in there, so it's gonna do this. And then because of where it is, you can't really hold it very well, but I think I got it. Okay. This is gonna be fun to put back together. Okay, let's see if I can get from it this side. Oh, I'm getting it, kind of. Yep, there it is. All right, this one's kind of a pain, and it's tight, but I think we got it. Alrighty, that is out. And this one does not look like the other ones. These ones have the threads like a little bit up, you know, not all the way. And this one has threads all the way up. So you're not gonna get them mixed up. And they're also different lengths too. So another thing I like doing is putting the nuts back on the bolts so you don't lose the bolts or the nuts. You keep them together. There we go. And the bolts are out, so now I'm gonna go grab a jack and we're gonna lift the mower up off of the axle. And then we can detach the other things. So I will be right back. All right, so I got a super overkill jack, but it's the only jack we got, so. Let's get this light out of here. Alright. Don't even know where I'm gonna jack this thing. Probably right here. This fancy homemade bumper I built. Alrighty. Oh, look at that. Let's take this bolt out. Oh. Oh boy. Come on. There it is. Okay. So you know that bolt I put in there so that nothing would fall apart? That was a problem. But now we're good. Okay. Alright. I should probably chalk the wheels, huh? That might be a good idea. Wheels chocked. Now we lift. Alright. What's happening? Oh, that's disconnected. Now it's that. Okay. So the axle is off of the mower. Excuse me, Jesus. Okay. Now we have to go in there and get the shift linkage and also the brake cable. So let me figure that out and I'll be right back. Alright, so let's figure this thing out. Looks easy enough. I think I can just do it by hand. Brake disconnected. Alright, so I figured this one out. There's a cotter pin right there. That guy needs to come out. It also looks like I can adjust the shift linkage. That's cool. Didn't know that. So let me get that out. Alright, so let's see. I don't know how much you're going to be able to see here. But shift linkage is right there. So I think if I pull the tire over to move the axle, what's happening? Should be able to grab it. Hey, look at that. Cotter pin disinstalled, and then, oh dear, Jesus. Shift linkage is officially not attached anymore. So that's what I was doing right here. Right there. And then that cotter pin, or that snap thing. Pin. Comment below if you know what this is called. You know, I knew what it was called, but right now I don't. Okay, something I also noticed and I wanted to point out is this is a little spacer that went in between the frame and the transaxle, and there was that bolt that went through it, that one that was hard to get to. This part, the bottom is different than the top, and this part slides into a little like divot in the transaxle, so it'll pretty much help you figure out which orientation it goes when you put it back in. Now that the transaxle is disinstalled from the Murray, I'm going to reach in and take the belt off real quick, and then it should be good to pull this thing off, sticking my hands in places where they shouldn't go. Huh. How do I take the belt off? I need to get slack in it. Ooh. What if I went like this? Huh. I need like a screwdriver. Ooh, I know. These should work. Maybe. Of course, I don't have any room in here. Okay, where the heck is the belt? Oh, I see the problem. Okay. This is not working very well. Is there serious? Oh my god. Okay. Trying to figure this out a different way. Didn't realize that the belt was so difficult to take off. I might have to crawl under. Look at this a different way. All right. Let's go underneath. Oh, you better make sure you hit your head on that. That felt good. Okay. So, whoa. There's the belt. And I'm trying. Why is there so much tension on this? Did I put the e-brake on? I don't think so. Do I take the e-brake off? Ooh, there's an idea. Did that fix it? Oh yeah, there we go. Oh Jesus. Everything's moving. Okay, figured it out. The e-brake has to be on, which actually, if you think about it, makes sense because when you release the e-brake, it engages the transaxle, which would tighten the belt, which is not what we want right now. Okay. Why did it go that way? It's not what we want. We want it to go up, but it's not gonna do that. Can't see anything because someone put a very bright light in my eyes. Okay, you're gonna have to bend that. When in doubt, bend it out. Oh, there we go. Where'd my wrench go? All right. When I got on into this project, I had zero clue on what in the world was going to need to happen, so kind of just figuring it out as we go now. Okay. Oh, you can't even see what I'm doing, huh? Maybe you can now. Is that better? Okay, well, the belt is off of the main pulley, but it's off the wrong way because we want it to be. Oh dear Jesus. Okay, that's fine. Ooh, there we go. Okay, so you gotta tilt the transaxle down. So push it out. And then you kind of just have to move her around until you can wiggle the belt up and out. Hopefully that makes sense. But for those of you that have a little bit of an idea of what's happening, you'll probably be able to figure it out. So now we're going to jack up this thing the rest of the way and get her out. All right, so go up some more. What's happening? Things are moving and I don't want them to move. Oh, I see. Huh. Okay. Ooh. Up more. More uppage. Why are we off the ground now? There it is. Oh, there. Ta-da! Okay. I guess we go up more. Oh my. need to make sure the mower doesn't fall off the jack. But we gotta figure out how to get this thing up high enough where we can roll this out here. Okay. Let's get the jack in there more. Good thing this thing doesn't weigh, 18 billion pounds. Okay, that should be enough. And it helps to leave the tires on, I'm realizing, to, roll it around when you got it out of here. We need to go up more. Good thing we got a high lift jack. Alright, we're out of liftage. This better be enough. Oh, my thumb's coming out of my glove. Look at that. Okay. Maybe we go that way. But I don't know if we can go that way. Let's try to go this way. Okay. Let's try that way. Oh, we almost got it. Stuck on the brake cable. Here we go. Oh my god. This thing. There's probably a better way of doing this. But we got it. Okay. Whew. Axle is out. That was a lot of fun. Alright. Let me pause the video for a second and figure out what we're going to do next. Alright, so got this thing lowered. We probably need to go back up. Just enough to where we can move her out of the way. Oh, that's in the way. Okay, set her down like that. Look, I squatted it. Don't say that. That was terrible. Remind me to never say that again. Okay. Let's sit back. Okay. Now that that's out of the way, I'm going to clean up and then get some stuff ready to drain the oil out of this. Alright, so I got the axle out of the Murray and into an area where we can start disassembling and, draining it out. But unfortunately, I'm going to have to make this into 2 videos, so I will put this video in the description of the next video and then the next video in the description of this video. Sorry I have to break it into 2. Other stuff happening in the house. Need to go eat items. So definitely stay tuned for the next part of this. I will post them at the same time so they're right together. But this video was disassembly. Next video will be fluid changing and throwing this thing back in. So thanks for watching. Stay tuned for the next one. Again, sorry I have to break this into 2. Just bad timing. Didn't realize the video was going to last that long. And stay tuned and catch you next time.